Everyone, this is a special council meeting. It's June 9th, 2020. And we're here with a 6-item agenda. So we'll start the meeting with a roll call and determination of quorum.
Nordstrom.
Here.
Roberts. Stroman. Armstrong. Lewis. Lehman. Drury. Evans. Drew. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. So now, if you wouldn't mind joining us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And now for the adoption of the agenda, would there be a motion from council?
So moved.
Motion by Armstrong and second by everyone else, but I heard mostly Drury. All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. General public comment, there are no speaker request forms for that, so we'll move on to non-public hearing items 1 through 6. Oh, yes, point of personal privilege from Greg Stroman. Go ahead.
Thank you. Today is June 9th, and that's a date every year that comes up for someone who lives in Rapid City. It causes you to have a bit of a pause, and I think we should take a moment before we conduct any city business to remember the events of 48 years ago in our great city and the lives that were lost and the devastation that occurred, and the remarkable recovery that's happened since then. And I think we should look forward in 2020 with 2020 vision to greater things that are still to be done in this city. Thank you.
Amen. So we'll have a moment of silence in memory of the flood. Thank you for that, Greg.
Yep.
Okay, item 1 on the agenda, and by the way, for anyone watching, the purpose of this meeting is to officially canvass or validate or verify the results of the city election that just occurred. Also, there's an additional item on there to talk also about an election issue. So this will be a short meeting. Item 1. To approve emergency resolution number 2020-047, canvassing vote for the annual municipal election held June 2nd for Ward 1. I'm told, Secretary of State's office says that we should have the representatives from those wards abstain
If they were up for election this year.
if they were up for election this
So
year.
Becky chose not to run, so she does not need to abstain.
Okay, so motion from Drury, and who was the second? Armstrong. Okay, all in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, approve emergency resolution 2020-048, canvassing the vote for the municipal election held June 2nd for Ward 2. Motion to approve by Evans, second by Drury. Drew? And Richie's abstaining. Everyone else who approves of that, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, approve emergency resolution 2020-049, canvassing vote for the annual municipal election held June 2nd for Ward 3. Second. Motion to approve by Drury and a second by Roberts. All in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, approve emergency resolution number 2020-050, canvassing the vote for the annual municipal election held June 2nd for Ward 4. Motion to approve by Lehman and a second by Drew, and Roberts will be abstaining. Everyone else in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, approve emergency resolution 2020-051, canvassing a vote for the annual municipal election held June 2nd for Ward 5. Motion to approve by Drew and a second by Evans.
Abstaining.
Laura Armstrong is abstaining. All others in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Under staff items, item 6, set a special election for November 3rd, 2020 to fill Ward 1 vacancy previously held by Lisa Modrick. And we're going to go to Finance Director Pauline Sumption for an explanation on how we got here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've been in constant contact with both the Secretary of State's office and also our county auditor's office regarding filling the vacancy left by Lisa Modrick. And the Secretary of State's office advised that we could not be on the same ballot as the general election, even if we do have a November election. Combining is technically not an option. So basically what this boils down to is there will be 2 elections held simultaneously on the same day. There will be 2 ballots for everybody in Ward 1. The rest of the county will just have their general election ballot. We'll still use the Ward 1 polling places that we have in the past. We'll use their poll workers. They will set up, get 2 different boards, one for the general election, one for the city special election. Long story short, it's just like we would have a special election any other day. As far as cost is concerned, there's very little savings in combining with the November ballot, but the county auditor's office said that if we're going to have a special election, they would prefer us to have it that same day, so that way they can be done with the elections for a little while. And if you have any other questions, I can certainly answer them.
So we will be saving on the building rental, some of the wages for
Correct.
poll workers and that sort of thing. We will have a cost, though, of ballots. We'll probably have to print abnormally higher number of ballots
Correct.
because of the attraction of the general election we'll bring into the polls. So there will not be without expense.
Correct. And usually a special election for us runs from $20,000 to $25,000 any other time of the year. So I would assume that it would be right in that same ballpark. Keep in mind that when we are doing our 2020 budget supplement, where we are reducing our budgets, I had actually given up about $15,000 in my election line item because we didn't have elections in 2 of our wards. But once we get this going, I will have to come back and have some of that reinstated more than likely. Also, just in case you're curious, Secretary of State's office is supposed to be giving me a definite timeline, but looking at the state statute, basically I will in August publish the notice of vacancies and of the election being held on November 3rd, and then they have 30 days from September 4th. They can start circulating petitions, and then they have 30 days to circulate, and so on October 4th the petitions would be due. That's something that is spelled out in state statute with special elections.
So it's been a whirlwind of unusual events starting in March, and Pauline has worked hard to try to make all this work out. I think we're getting the best scenario possible right now to fill the Ward 1 vacancy. So we'll go to Darla Drew.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm going to ask you, Mr. Mayor, this question. So, okay, this is going to happen. How do we let people know it's going to happen? How do we get them aware that they can run again? You know, will there be press releases and maybe some information from you or Pauline given in future meetings? Because we'll have to make a big deal out of this for people to know they can run.
I know people are watching it now, and people have been calling and asking about it. I'm sorry, I should probably let you talk first.
Oh, good answer.
Go ahead.
And we obviously have required publications that we have to do, but Daryl has always worked fabulously with my office trying to get that word out, and I see nothing different happening this time around.
Okay. And if you ran before, you can run again. That's not a problem.
Correct. You just have to have signatures in that 30-day time frame between September 4th and October 4th.
Okay, that's all the questions. Thank you.
Okay, John Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to make a motion to approve.
Second by Lehman. Okay. Any other comments from council? If not, all in favor of the motion for approval, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Motion to adjourn, anyone?
Second.
Drury makes a motion. Armstrong seconds. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.